Oh man, I'm live. So I'm live, live by the beach, having a good day in Seattle. It's just all just been by the water, meeting good people, whatnot. But what I wanted to talk about: mistakes men make, because men make a lot of mistakes, and women don't know why. And it can be, we can talk about cheating. We can talk about that, and we can also talk about mismanaging money too, because men seem to be more adventurous a lot of times than the women. But when it comes to the cheating, women say, "Why do men cheat?" And there's so many reasons that one could give. None are justifiable, or very few are justifiable. I'm kind of like an open thinker, so if you're new to me, but many men cheat. Sometimes it's a lack of a fantasy. The everything has ended, the romance has ended, and all that. Um, 1 second, let me make sure that's not my car. No, it's not my car. But fantasies and things that some women used to do, some things men used to do in the beginning of the relationship, where they used to take the women. Sometimes that stopped and all romance has gone and everything is routine. And sometimes it's greed, be straight up. Like men want to taste the rainbow, taste and go. Um, go fast and stop for a minute and go. So, I mean, some of that is greed, some of it is fantasy. Guys watching too many movies, too many of the wrong movies, and not trying to make their own. Women not preparing the mood and saying, I don't need, I can go buy, unsexy stuff that just is like a turnoff. I don't know. I don't have a lot of that in my life, whatnot. I'm very vocal, and when I want something, I say it, and then I'll go buy it if I really want it. But men, have a hard time verbalizing things. Some of that is judgment, and if it comes off wrong, that's why these millennials, they'll text everything, and then if it comes off wrong, they will then just LOL and say it was a joke. You can't do that in everyday conversation, especially with a certain tone. And I'm from the old school, so you really just can't be texting a full conversation. I'm not a 13-year-old girl, and just don't come from that. But a lot of men, even the older guys, have caught on to that. That's a little tidbit for you ladies, whatnot, so why is the guy texting me? He's not calling me. It's not necessarily that he's taken. It's that he's testing. He's testing the waters, especially if it's new, to see what he can get away with. And a lot of you women, you will let somebody test the waters, and you'll test them too. And but you guys are a lot more slick, sly than the average guy. So why do they cheat? It's just people not being who they can be, or people stopping who they were. Now, that's the thing about marriage. It's like better or worse, but when you stop who you are and someone's not satisfied, and then you have a thirsty thought around the corner who is willing, able, and pursuing you, it can get hard for your average guy, especially if he isn't used to dealing with women and, setting certain boundaries, whatnot. You could be out here in Seattle, right here by the beach, shirt off, working out, guns out, but I keep it moving. I'm just here to kind of write, create, do a little bit of work, and go from there. Hold on a second. Let me put this back in my ear. So there's no real reason. There's actually 100, and some of those things it'd have to be broken down to a case by case basis. I've seen men leaving their women. A lot of men leaving their women after having children or about to have children. I never get that. Like it was all fun and games until the baby came, and then you punked out. Seeing a lot of men leave their women because she's doing something career wise and they don't think she has enough time for them. Real selfish, like, And you can kind of tell those things. So you really want yourself a loudmouth who will tell you how he gets down. and he's gonna let you know his crazy. And that's what I always tell people when they send hey, I need some help in the dating realm, and I send an application. And in my application I say, you got to tell me you're crazy. If you don't tell me you're crazy, I'm not able to help you, because you don't even know who you are. And a lot of people are shocked by that. Like, tell me the crazy. Yeah, everybody has some crazy to them, and most people are trying to hide it. Most people are trying to come off as this perfect person, and you're not. That's why your wife left you. I know you're in shape, great job, whatnot, but that's why she left you. That's why your husband left you. I know you're in shape, great job, but he left because that crazy was hidden. And maybe they just didn't have good insight. But tell somebody the crazy, and also date somebody for years. Like folks who get married within a year or have a baby within a year, you already know it can be doomed for disaster. Do some relationships last? I'm not gonna say all fail, but look at the stats, man. The stats suck at as it is. Take a minute to get to know the person, see how they treat their mama, their auntie, their grandmama, what's on their mind. A lot of you don't even take the time. A guy will do the 3-date rule on you in a day, and you didn't just open up the pocketbook and wonder why he left. The 3-date rule, we might get into that in detail in another YouTube, unless I feel obliged. But it's when a guy takes you to 3 places in one day, so you feel like you've been on 3 dates, because research shows on the 3rd date he's more likely to get some. So why not make that in one day? It's a little game for you. That's why they pay me what they pay me, whether it's on Clarity or in person or whatnot, to give game. Like, my whole job as a consultant and a PR tist is to figure out things real quick and to find an angle. How can we get where we need to get? And what will that do for us? And so sometimes people say, hey, how can you make this happen? I can't tell you how. I can just tell you I'm good at what I do. And we do it very discreetly. Can't tell you all the details, but gave you a little, the 3-date rule. Well, a lot of women in their 50s haven't heard about that. They're like, 3-date rule? Yeah, you haven't studied this dating game. There's a lot of books on it, research. There's people training every day. They're sitting by the beach, scoping things out, seeing how people are, whatnot. So that's why a lot of you get duped, because you don't know people, and you don't go pay an expert or have somebody who can tell you. Maybe your parents didn't know. Maybe no one in your family knew. Maybe everything was just honky-dory, and it was, love at first sight, knocking on the door, just like money grows on trees. That's how often that happens. But, that's why men are the way they are, partly. They got that dog in them, just naturally. Most, at least. Not all. But, men aren't perfect. Women aren't perfect. We surely all come from different areas and think different. Therefore, we're not all going to be on the same accord. But when someone tries to reveal who they are and what they believe in, don't chastise them. Listen to them. Let them talk even more. Let them talk themselves into a hole, if need be, where you say, oh, shoot, let me get out of here. Let me run. Because a cat will tell you, man, I'm crazy. Like, off top. Not me. I'm talking about the other guy. He'll let you know I got some principles. I'm robbing armored cars on the weekend type stuff, Then I'm in church on Sunday. Like, cats will let you know if you really listen to them. I dig into a lot of deepness on the first time I meet someone, because I want to know if it's the second time I'm going to meet them. Yeah, don't kick up the sand. You gotta check people out here on the beach. Kid running with a kite, but you don't know. But that's beside the point. So it's get to know people a little better. Get to know yourself a lot better, because we all don't know ourselves. We think we do. We think we can control certain things, but we can't. sometimes. And, you know, God always give you a way out of some sin. But sometimes it's not even sin. Sometimes it's just a bad decision of, you know, should I finish this assignment when I should finish this assignment or wait? Procrastination. So that's my little tidbit. I'm not going to ramble on and on for hours and hours. You know, get out here, enjoy the sun for this summer, enjoy the people, enjoy the loved ones, invest in the people that you feel you should invest in, because there's a lot of distraction, people keeping you away from your goal. And I'll do another video, you know, especially depending on the questions, comments, emails that I get, phone calls that I get. This is kind of a relief. That free therapy, whatnot, when you can't tell, you know, therapists everything. Can't tell y'all everything either, but try. Holla.